Dragons appear in mythologies across the world, from guardian serpents to world-ending apocalyptic beasts. This is ranking the most powerful mythological dragons from defeatable to absolutely unkillable based on their power, the threat they posed, and what it took to stop them. Level 1, Ladon, the Guardian Serpent. Starting at the bottom, we have Ladon, the 100-headed dragon who guarded the golden apples in the garden of the Hesperides. Ladon was fierce and never slept, with all 100 heads keeping constant watch, but compared to what's coming, he's basically just a very complicated guard dog. Ladon's job was singular: protect the golden apples that granted immortality. He coiled around the tree and attacked anyone who approached. His 100 heads made him extremely difficult to sneak past because they watched from every angle. But Ladon was still mortal and ultimately defeatable. Heracles killed him with poisoned arrows as part of the 11th labor. Some versions say Heracles put all 100 heads to sleep. Either way, one hero managed to get past him and complete the task. After death, Hera placed Ladon in the stars as the constellation Draco. That's nice, but it doesn't change that he lost to a single hero with the right tools. He was a guardian with a specific purpose, not a force of destruction. At level 1, Ladon represents a formidable guardian, but ultimately mortal and defeatable. Level 2, Fafnir, the greedy dragon. At level 2, we have Fafnir from Norse mythology. Fafnir is a step up because his story involves transformation, corruption, and curse. This isn't just a dragon, this is what greed turns you into. Fafnir started as a dwarf. When Loki killed Fafnir's brother, the gods paid compensation with cursed gold. The gold corrupted Fafnir completely. He murdered his own father to claim it, then transformed into a massive dragon to better guard his treasure. Fafnir became a terror, breathing poison that destroyed the land around his lair. His very breath could kill anyone who got close. He stopped being a person and became pure avarice in dragon form. The hero Sigurd killed Fafnir by digging a pit along the dragon's path to water. When Fafnir crawled over it, Sigurd stabbed upward, through the soft underbelly. After the dragon died, Sigurd bathed in his blood, gaining invulnerable skin, except one spot where a leaf landed. Fafnir represents the danger of corruption and greed, but he's still a creature that could be outsmarted and killed by a prepared hero. At level 2, Fafnir represents transformation into monstrous greed, but ultimately mortal vulnerability. Before we ascend to dragons that threaten entire kingdoms, hit subscribe. These creatures get exponentially more dangerous. Level 3, Python, the prophetic serpent. At level 3, we have Python, the massive serpent dragon who guarded the oracle at Delphi before Apollo claimed it. Python represents a massive escalation in both size and mythological significance. Python was born from the mud left after the Great Flood, making it a primordial creature connected to ancient chaos before the Olympian order. It was enormous, dwelling in a cave on Mount Parnassus, guarding the sacred site where Gaia herself gave prophecies. When Apollo was just 4 days old, he decided to claim Delphi as his own oracle site. Python tried to stop him, and the battle was significant enough that it reshaped the religious landscape of Greece. Apollo killed Python with his arrows. But killing Python came with consequences. Apollo had to perform ritual purification to atone for killing such an ancient creature. He established the Pythian Games in Python's honor, and the priestesses at his oracle were called Pythia, preserving the serpent's name even in death. Python was powerful enough that killing it required a god, not just a hero, and even then, there were spiritual consequences. At level 3, Python represents ancient primordial power requiring divine intervention to defeat. Level 4, Yamata no Orochi, the 8-headed dragon. At level 4, we have Yamata no Orochi from Japanese mythology, a dragon so massive that it demanded human sacrifice and terrorized entire regions for generations. Orochi had 8 heads and 8 tails, with eyes like red cherries, a body that stretched across 8 valleys and 8 hills, and moss and trees growing on its back. Every year, it would demand a young maiden be sacrificed, or it would destroy entire villages. The storm god Susanoo encountered the grieving parents of the last remaining daughter, scheduled for sacrifice. Susanoo agreed to save her, but he couldn't fight Orochi directly. It was too powerful. Instead, he brewed 8 vats of incredibly strong sake and got all 8 heads drunk. While the dragon was passed out, Susanoo cut off all 8 heads and tails. When he cut open the middle tail, he discovered the legendary sword Kusanagi no Tsurugi, one of Japan's 3 imperial regalia. This sword was so powerful, it had been inside the dragon. Orochi represents the escalation to dragons that terrorize entire regions and require divine intervention plus clever tactics to defeat. You can't just fight it head-on. At level 4, Orochi represents overwhelming multi-headed power requiring divine cunning to defeat. Level 5, Tiamat, the primordial chaos dragon. At level 5, we have Tiamat from Babylonian mythology. This is where dragons stop being individual creatures and start being cosmic forces. Tiamat isn't just a dragon, she's the literal embodiment of primordial saltwater chaos and the mother of all monsters. Tiamat existed before creation itself. She and her consort Apsu created the first generation of gods. But when these younger gods became too chaotic, Apsu wanted to destroy them. After the gods killed Apsu, Tiamat transformed into a dragon of pure vengeance. She created an army of monsters, 11 horrifying creatures, including dragons, scorpion men, and storm demons, and declared war on the younger gods. The gods were terrified because she was their mother and the source of creation itself. Only Marduk, the storm god, agreed to fight her, but only if the other gods made him their king. During battle, Marduk used the 4 winds to inflate Tiamat's body, then shot an arrow down her throat, killing her. He split her corpse in half. One half became the sky, the other became the earth. Her tears became the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Tiamat represents creation itself. Killing her literally required tearing apart primordial chaos to create ordered reality. No hero could face her. It took a god who became king of all gods. At level 5, Tiamat represents primordial creative chaos, requiring divine kingship to overcome. Number 6, Jormungandr, the world serpent. At level 6, we have Jormungandr. From Norse mythology, the Midgard serpent who literally encircles the entire world. This dragon is so impossibly massive that it holds its own tail in its mouth and surrounds all of Midgard. Jormungandr is one of Loki's 3 monstrous children. Odin threw it into the ocean as a baby, but it grew so large it wrapped around the entire world. When it moves, it causes tsunamis and earthquakes. Thor tried to kill Jormungandr multiple times. In one famous story, Thor went fishing using an ox head as bait. Jormungandr took the bait, and Thor pulled it up from the depths. The serpent was so massive that lifting its head above water nearly capsized their boat. Thor raised his hammer to kill it, but his companion, terrified, cut the fishing line. The prophecy of Ragnarok says Jormungandr will finally leave the ocean, poisoning the sky with its venom. Thor will kill it during the final battle, but he'll only walk 9 steps before dying from the serpent's poison. Even in death, Jormungandr kills the god who killed it. At level 6, Jormungandr represents a dragon so massive it defines the physical world and will kill a god even as it dies. Number 7, Apophis, the eternal chaos serpent. The absolute peak. Apophis from Egyptian mythology represents the ultimate dragon, an unkillable embodiment of chaos that threatens reality itself every single night for all eternity. Apophis is the cosmic serpent of chaos that existed before creation. It lives in the darkness beyond the world, and every night when Ra's solar boat travels through the underworld, Apophis tries to swallow Ra and end existence. If it succeeds, the sun won't rise, reality will collapse back into primordial chaos, and everything will cease to exist. Every single night, Ra's defenders have to fight Apophis. They wound it, defeat it, drive it back, but they can never kill it. It regenerates completely and attacks again the next night. This battle has repeated every single night since creation and will continue until the end of time. The ancient Egyptians performed rituals every day to help Ra defeat Apophis, drawing images of it bound and stabbed, speaking spells against it, symbolically destroying it. But these were temporary victories. Apophis is eternal chaos. You can't kill chaos, you can only hold it back. Here's why Apophis sits alone at level 7. Every other dragon on this list died. They were defeated, some by heroes, some by gods, but they ended. Apophis never ends. It lost 10,000 battles and will fight 10,000 more. It represents the fundamental truth that chaos is eternal, order is temporary, and the fight to maintain reality never stops. Apophis isn't the biggest or strongest dragon. It's the only one that literally cannot be permanently defeated. That makes it the ultimate dragon in all mythology. Most mythological dragons were killed by heroes or gods. Apophis has been fighting for thousands of years and will never stop. Drop a comment on which mythological dragon you think was most powerful, and if you want more mythology breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed.